Well, hello, hello. It's time to study with Jessie Mamas, and we are wrapping up this series all about preparing your teen for the next semester. Today, our topic, get on the same page with your teen. So, before I really explain what that means, how to do that, I want to know, would you say you are on the same page with your teen? Let me know with a yes or no down below if you feel like you guys are communicating, that you really know what each other wants, what each other expects. All right, let me know. And I will tell you this is tip number 5. There are 3 more I'm offering via email only. So if you want to know what those 3 bonus tips are to get ready for this semester, be sure to email acecookietutoring@gmail after this video, the word tips. All right, it actually might be semester. I copied and pasted. I'm like, do I remember what I typed? So let's talk about this idea of getting on the same page. So, number 1, mamas, you have expectations for your teens. You want them to do certain things at certain times. You want the house to look a certain way. You want certain routines to be followed. And that's okay. It is totally okay to have expectations. I got to tell you that for me personally, when I know what an employer wants, when I know what a family wants, what works best for a student, it makes my life so much easier as a tutor, as an employee, as a collaborator, as a whole bunch of other things. Because how can we possibly know what we are supposed to do until we are told what the expectations are? So that is my tip for you mamas in this video, is if you have expectations for your teen, your tween, even your college student who may only be at home during the breaks, you and I know there's expectations, but I want you to make sure your teens, and like I said, your older kids, your younger kids, to know what those expectations are. Okay. So as we go into the second semester, if there were things that your teen did last semester that drove you crazy, you've got to tell your teen what those are. If there are things that you want to be different this semester, then you've got to tell your teen. Okay. Now, I would tell you, when I say tell your teen, I want it not to be a scream fest. I don't want you, yelling at your teen for 10 minutes and, saying, we're going to talk about this now and that, you have to do it this way. You got to lay the expectations out there and then have a discussion about it. I mean, your teens are almost adults. Yes, they're still your kids. They're always going to be your kids. But at the same time, if your teen's doing something a certain way and it's not what you want, got to figure out what's going on. Okay. So definitely do know expectations are important because you've got them, the teacher has them, your teen's employers are going to have them, and you are the first step. You are the first one to help your teen realize, okay, how do I need to learn about expectations? Because maybe you thought you've made them crystal clear and your teen has had no idea what you've said about such and such is really an expectation, something that you want to happen, that is a rule. Maybe your teen doesn't know it. Okay, so that's an important lesson for you to know how to communicate with your teen. And it's an important lesson for your teen to realize, oh, when she says it like this, or when we have this type of discussion, this is what's supposed to happen. Okay, so I want to flip it to the teen side here in a second. Tell you, mamas, how to help your teens, how to be on the same page with them from their perspective. Before I do, thanks for watching here on YouTube. Thanks for watching on Facebook. I am live both places, so if you do not subscribe, you do not follow to Ace Cookie Tutoring, because I am Jessica Coulter, the CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring, and I want you to subscribe. I want you to follow because there's going to be so many more videos, so much more content available both places, but you'll never know if you're not active, following, subscribing. All right, so mamas, we talked about expectations for you. Now let's talk about your teens. So as we go into this next semester, your teen has dreams. He has hopes. She has goals. Like, there are things that your teen wants to have happen this next semester. And I ask you this, do you know what those things are for your teen? Do you know what club she's looking forward to joining? Do you know what grade he's trying to get in the class? Is there a sports team your teen is just sure that, is the end all be all that she wants to be part of? Okay. So remember that question I asked you at the beginning, are you on the same page with your teen? Do you connect? Do you know what each other wants. Have you had that talk? And if you can't tell me what your teen wants to have happen this semester, what the goal is, what the purpose is in your teen's words, then to me, that's a huge problem. Okay, we want you to know just as much about your teen as we need your teen to know about you when it comes to expectations and rules and how things are going to happen. Because I got to tell you, mamas, support, support, support. That is a big part of your job when you've got a middle schooler, high schooler, or college kiddo, let alone younger. But for me, I focus on the older kids. So definitely, you can't support your teens until you know what that dream is. Okay. If your child wants to get a certain grade in a class, well, that's when you might hire someone like me, a tutor, or someone like me, a study tutor, to help your teen, learn how to learn so that class is very easy. And I could also tell you maybe your teen wants to be a sport, be part of a sport, be part of a club, part of that support could be something like, hey, I thought you said there was a meeting this week and, how'd it go? And, just literally being involved in your teen's life is a way of showing support. Okay. So definitely more on the tutor side, more on the academic side, but yet everything I'm sharing with you this week, everything I've shared in this video is, definitely very closely related to tutoring, to academics. Because I got to tell you, those expectations, they matter to everything. School related, home life, those dreams your teen has. If it's something related to school, if it's something related to an after school activity, if it's something at home, again, everything is connected together. So definitely, mamas, let your expectations be known. Also encourage you to have a talk with your teen and find out what your teen wants to have happen this semester. Because it could be brand new news to you. It could be something you had no idea your teen was interested in. It could be something your teens never talked about before. Or it could be something that you thought was just a, thing. And yet your teen's like, yeah, this is like the most important thing in my life right now. So have that conversation, open the door, and I got to tell you that, when you're on the same page with your teen, school life, home life, it's just so much more fun. It's more enjoyable for you and your teen, and so much more good will come of it than surprises when, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that way. And, oh, I didn't know that was important to you. So thank you, mamas. Have an awesome weekend. I will see you very soon in my inbox, I hope. Be sure to send me an email, address and code word in the description. Send that to me so I can send you 3 bonus tips to get you and your teen ready for this next semester. Talk to you soon, mamas. Bye.